One of the trending stories in Kenya is of a pastor who instructed his followers to fast to death so as to meet Jesus, as he claimed he was in constant communication with. Well, let's get to the story. It was reported that close to 58 bodies had been exhumed from Shakahola forest by police in southeastern Kenya on 24th of April 2023. While his other followers were found starving and on the brink of death, police rescued about 27 people who were admitted to hospital for severe malnutrition. About 39 members of the cult leader were missing, although there could be more people, as residents admitted about 300 people lived in Shakahola farm owned by the controversial pastor. Now, who is the controversial pastor? The controversial pastor is Paul Mackenzi. He was a taxi driver who turned to a pastor and a televangelist. Later, he founded his church in the coastal town of Malindi in 2003 in southeastern Kenya. Following the controversial teachings to his congregation of quitting their jobs, dropping out of formal education, stop eating unworldly food, and not to seek medical treatment in hospital when sick, he closed his church in 2019 and moved to his farm in Shakahola village with some of his members, as he feared police could suffocate his dubious doctrine if noticed. Now, from Shakahola, he turned the farmland as a fasting venue. He instructed the followers to gather in large number. The fast was only counted valid if it's from the farm into the farm, not to mingle with anyone from outside world. If they had to go to heaven, they had to destroy all documents given to them, including birth certificates and national identity cards. He then asked them to fast for 40 days and die before disaster could strike. The disaster claimed by the controversial pastor was a deadly disease that would wipe out all children and adults, as he claimed to he was in constant communication with God, and God had directed him to save mankind from the looming pain. So he asked them to fast as follows: children first, followed by women, and finally men. As it was in the same order, the faithful were meant to die respectively. There have been reports suggesting that the pastor had bankrupted his followers in the past by instructing them to sell off their property and give the money to him. One of the victims was an air hostess who quit her job at one of the major airline operators, sold land worth 7 million Kenya shillings, and returned home to join the cult of the controversial pastor. So, what happened later? The pastor was arrested while he was reading his Bible in a section of his large 800-acre land, and the police strangely found the pastor was not fasting like the rest of the followers, saying he was waiting until June, a month ahead, to start fasting. On hearing the news, the president of Kenya, William Ruto, condemned the matter and termed it an act of terrorism. And the people wondered on the state of Kenya's security, intelligence gathering, and community policing. The president then instructed the agencies involved to investigate the church and get to the root cause of the activities of people who are using religion to advance weird, unacceptable ideology in Kenya that is causing unnecessary loss of life, as well as any religious leaders who influence their followers against the tenets of the Constitution of Kenya.